Welcome to Mildura Weekly, and joining me today is Mildura glider pilot David Collins, who's about to embark overseas to compete in the Junior World Championship gliding competition in Hungary. David, welcome to the studio.
Thanks very much, John. It's good to be here.
Yeah, well, tell us about your trip to Hungary and what's going to be happening in the competition.
Yeah, so I was selected amongst three other junior pilots, all under 25 years of age, to compete in the Junior World Gliding Championships in Hungary. And I leave this Sunday, and the competition will open on the 28th of July and run through to the 10th of August.
Brilliant. Now, you actually started to learn flying when you were about 12.
I did, yeah. I've always had quite a strong interest in aviation, and when I was 12 years old, it was a recommendation of a friend of mine. His grandfather was an instructor at the Sunraysia Gliding Club, and we went out there to have a look, and I ended up having a bit of a fly, and I just loved it then, and yeah, still really enjoying it and progressing through, and yeah, it's fantastic.
Of course, you can't legally fly until you're 15, so you would have
Indeed.
been pretty well adept at flying by the time you're able to fly.
Yeah. My first solo flight was actually on my 15th birthday, so that was amazing, and for a little while I was the youngest glider pilot in Australia, which was it was really good.
You probably couldn't get a better place to learn to fly than somewhere like Mildura with the hot weather we get. And
Absolutely.
Of course, gliders depend on thermals, but you tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so a glider uses rising currents of warm air to gain altitude, and then they can use that height to convert to speed and cover distance that way. And Mildura is brilliant for that. Like, it's hot in summer and even in winter. It's not uncommon to get some really good, nice soaring flights as well. So.
And of course you can travel some reasonably long distances, can't you, in a day?
Absolutely. Gliders have been known to travel over 1,000 kilometres in Australia, and even here in Mildura there's been flights of up to 700, 800 kilometres in the last few years, so it's a great spot for it.
And if the worst case scenario applies and you can't get back to the field, you generally fly in areas where you know you can land safely.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not uncommon for a glider to land in a wheat paddock somewhere, which is very routine. It's part of all glider pilots' training prior to their solo flight. And I've outlanded 5 times throughout my gliding career, I suppose. And
you're here to tell us about it. That's good.
Absolutely, yeah.
And of course you're studying commercial aviation in Melbourne. I think you're at Swinburne University. I
am, yeah.
You fly at Moorabbin Airport. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, so I'm studying a Bachelor of Aviation with Swinburne University and doing my flight training through CAE Oxford at Moorabbin Airport. So it's a university course with also the practical component of flying in there as well.
Yeah.
I'm in my first year this year. I've just moved down to Melbourne in February this year, and it's going very well. I'm really enjoying it. I'm about 2/3 of the way through my private pilot's licence, and then after that I'll progress onto my commercial licence.
Excellent. And just back to the competition, the other 3 competitors from Australia, do you know them?
I do, yeah. They're all good friends of mine.
Yeah.
We've competed together at the Junior Nationals quite often over the last few years, and 3 of us, it's our first world comps, and one guy, it's his second. So, yeah, it'll be really good for all of us. We're all looking forward to it.
Yeah, and I think you told me you're flying an LS3 glider, which you'll actually pick up when you go over there, but you fly one similar to that in Mildura.
Yeah, Sunraysia Gliding Club own an LS3 glider, so that's most of my flying time has been in that glider, so it shouldn't be too much of a challenge to convert into this LS3. So.
Well, David, thanks so much for coming in, and good luck in Hungary.
Thanks very much, John.
And of course you can get more news at milduraweekly.com.au.